I think a lot of people believe that if they just made more money, everything would feel easier, less stress, more freedom, more breathing room. And to be fair, making more money does help, at least at first, but I've noticed something, and I've experienced this too. Making more money doesn't always fix the problem. Sometimes it just changes it. Because what actually happens as your income goes up, your expenses slowly follow it. Not all at once, and not in some obvious way, just little things. You upgrade a few areas of your life that you've been putting off. Maybe you move somewhere a bit nicer, spend a little more on food. We all have wanted that, right? Making things more convenient. Nothing feels excessive. It just feels like this is what I can afford now. So I want this. And that makes sense, right? But over time, your new normal becomes more expensive. And eventually, it starts to feel tight again. Isn't that amazing? Even though you're making more than before. And that's where it gets confusing. Because on paper, you're doing better, but it doesn't feel like it. And I think that's what frustrates people the most. It's not just about money, it's about how it feels. If your income goes up, but your stress stays the same, it doesn't really feel like progress. I think a big reason for that is that the gap never grows. The space between what you make and what you spend, it stays small. So there's never that feeling of, okay, I'm actually getting ahead. It's more like I'm keeping up at a higher level, and that's exhausting in a different way because now there's more responsibility. There's more bills, more expectations. And sometimes there's more pressure to maintain that lifestyle. So even though you're earning more, you don't necessarily feel more secure. And I don't think this is about people being irresponsible. I think it's just how things naturally drift. You adjust to your environment. You adjust to your new income. You adjust to what feels normal, and your spending adjusts with it. Yeah, it's quiet. So the solution isn't just make more money. That does help, don't get me wrong. But if nothing else changes, you can end up in the exact same position, just with bigger numbers. I think the real shift happens when the gap actually grows. You make more and your lifestyle doesn't rise at the same pace. Even a little bit of separation there starts to change how things feel because now you have options. Now you have room. You're not constantly right up against your limit. And that changes your relationship with money. It feels less stressful, less reactive, more stable. And that's really what people are looking for, right? Not just more money, but the less pressure. And those aren't always the same thing. So, yeah, making more money is good, but it's not the full solution because if the gap doesn't grow, the feeling doesn't change. And that's the part that people don't expect.